Yeah. We are good, so we're live.
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah, it's so nice to be here, to
Mm,
talk to you
yeah, that
like
is
this and
amazing.
at this kind of setting. We
Yeah, it's so
usually
funny because we talk so often in
yeah
coffee breaks or in the beach
with like
or
beach walks.
yeah,
Yes.
and then suddenly here
Yeah.
in this program.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Rafaele and this is Natalia, and today we are here at Blue Right Radio, and we are together with Chris and Gabriel, who kindly invited us for this interview slash reflection slash program about our previous works. And this is going to be a very intimate setting because we know each other very well. We are very good friends. There will be a lot of special questions, maybe sometimes too technical, too intimate, but very
I
cool.
like that.
Yeah, to for people to know us a little bit deeper and about our practice, what we go through as artists, what we have in common, our differences or our trajectories in the Netherlands.
Oh yeah. That's that's interesting. Yeah. Like how do we live here?
Yeah. Do you wanna introduce me and I
Yes.
introduce you?
So Rafaela is a composer, instrument inventor. Her background is in conducting, composition, music theory. She comes originally from Brazil, and then she moved further to study in Leipzig in Germany, music theory and conducting. And then she found her way to sonology in The Hague, in the Royal Conservatoire of The Hague. Right, this is where you began to build your instrument, knurl. And further on, we met in the master studies of new audiences and innovative practice, where you further were focusing on developing your instrument. And this is where I got to know you. And yeah, and so like, whoa, what a imagination, behind, building this instrument and the world of knurl.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I show a little picture of knurl because some people are like, "What is knurl?" This is knurl, in case anyone wants to know. Before I forget to show what is knurl, I can show now. Yeah, and about Natalia, it's so funny because she knows so much about me, and now I also know so much about her. We met, as she said, at our master studies in the Conservatory of The Hague. But Natalia comes from Lithuania. She's a singer, she's a producer, she's a composer, and she is really a person that likes to create a world with her projects. So her artistic name is Cosmic Bright, and this comes from a phrase, I think it was from Schoenberg, right?
No, it was from Stravinsky.
Stravinsky. And it was this phrase that you said that you were really inspired of, like that he said, music is the bride of the cosmos.
Yeah,
And
like
this
the full quote is, even in the depths of hell, music is the bride of the cosmos.
this
So
is so
more
true.
drama.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
this
it's very epic.
and this phrase inspired you so much to create an artistic name.
Yeah, I thought I want to create a world of a cosmic bride. Like, what is she? What she does? What she's singing about? And also, we as artists, we, especially those who kind of need to reinvent themselves and find themselves in a new country, you you're not going to be the same person as you would be in Brazil or I would be in Lithuania. So I needed to kind of think of a new mission or a new vision. And I was also thinking about a link to a chain, to someone who has done that, who really inspires me. And of course, that would be Igor Stravinsky's, like someone who migrated from Russia to Europe and to Western, let's say, Western world, and created a new language, like revolutionized, music, changed music course forever with the Sacre de Printemps. And you know, and this phrase coming from him, I thought that like I need to kind of connect as a, to someone who already did that, and that would always give me strength and a purpose to, yeah, to kind of to keep on going, because at some points, you ask yourself like, why am I doing this? Like for whom?
Mm-hmm.
And you need to get strength somewhere. So for me, that was like, okay, I think something like this I could commit for a long time.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that Igor Stravinsky was so much into your veins. Also talking about immigration and how do you see yourself as an artist in a different identity in a different country.
Yeah, it's kind of invisible, I would say, because you know, um, you don't know what the person inside is going through. But as an artist who did this step,
Mm-hmm.
you only know it from inside that, hey, I'm finding myself in this new space. I have to learn this new language. Have to learn how to, get this blue envelopes to translate this,
The
like to
Lost in
learn the
Beast.
to learn the whole system, to kind of engage with this culture. And it's a thing,
Yeah.
that not everyone um, goes through,
Mm-hmm.
and
Definitely.
that's kind of adds a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
And
And not only for people that come outside the Netherlands, but also people that even in the Netherlands have to move to another city. It's already a different culture. Anyway, but really cool. For the ones who doesn't know, Stravinsky is this big composer that is from Russia, and is a really inspiring guy. He created a very big and broad catalog of music. He's very well known for like making rhythms very, bringing a bit of
create a new
swing in
language in
Europe.
music. And one more thing, why I kind of resonated with Stravinsky is because, especially this piece, Le Sacre du Printemps, it's opening with a Lithuanian folk melody.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah. There's
Really cool.
Yeah, so he really reused a lot of Lithuanian folk melodies, and Le Sacre du Printemps is really like intertwined with it.
Very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of studies on it, and there's also a very funny study that he that he actually didn't like was not very precarious on choosing the phrases. He
Mm-hmm.
basically, took a book. Okay, I'm gonna take this one, and this one. So basically, all the stuff that
So
he chose
random.
from that book
Yeah.
of a Polish musicologist who was collecting these pagan melodies. So he basically, okay, this. So really,
That is so cool.
it is funny, but yeah, but I mean, he kind of, you know, popularized Lithuanian music worldwide, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, in this way.
Very cool. I can also see how this is inspired your projects because you are also a producer that brings a lot of acoustic instruments, and this is such a it brings such a value into your songs. I feel as a personally from a composer perspective, it brings you a lot of depth, and you can see there is a lot of strength there. Also, Natalia, she has done a long trajectory of making also unique projects that resembles different music worlds. Let's say now she's doing a project about mushrooms. She's doing that's called. There's another project called Hidden Gem. She also has been part of the Eurovision trajectory. Can I say something about
Yes,
that?
of course.
Or
I mean, it was start for
yeah,
me.
she started to. She was
Start for Cosmic Bride. I mean, I debuted.
yeah,
With
she was part of 1 year, right? One
It was a
edition
few
of
years in a row, actually, like
yeah.
more years, but I don't know. I kind of abandoned this part of my
We can
biography.
talk about that further.
I don't
Uh,
know. I'm not ashamed of it, but I don't think it represents me at the moment.
yeah,
Um,
but it's also maybe
yeah.
we'll see
I
if we
don't know.
get
At some
there.
point, I was really like, yeah, we were just talking also. Um, we met this week earlier with another artist. We're working on a idea of a community for art, tech, and well-being, which is it's just I see a lot of potential there, and really excited about this. But we were like, I was saying, like, Rafaele, we're so different. I remember that when you were making Knurl, and we had this one of the mass sessions with our mentor, and you were saying that I want to do a project. I'm making Knurl out of gathered plastic. I want to do a performance in a, I don't know how it's called, like in a place where there's a lot of garbage.
A fall center.
A center. And
Garbage center.
and I mean, for me, of course, I was like, why would you?
Where is the magic of this place?
Why would you? And it's like, this is very conceptual thinking.
Yes,
We went-
crazy. Anyway, we have a lot to talk. Shall we listen first one of your songs?
You want to start with my songs? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to start with maybe, I don't know. We could start with "Stars in Your Hands."
Start us. Okay.
Is the longer one. And this was, yeah. Maybe I'm not gonna talk a lot. Just like let's listen. It's 3 parts. And it was yeah. Let's just listen.
Let's
then we talk
listen.
further.
And we can talk in between.
Yeah.
First man in space also started somewhere, was breathing the same air and gazed at the stars, guessing the secrets if we have a chance to pave our own way in the infinite dark. The first man in space had hopes and fears, wondered when to sow and when's the time to reap. But if the sun rules the seasons and the moon runs the tides, can an ordinary human change an order of stars? I'll cut through the sky and I'll drink the wind in my blood. Solar, I read it and sealed. I'll reach for the star, and if I move it a bit, maybe someone like you can move it further than me. I'll cut through the sky with the heels of my mind. If the sun's above us decides on what comes, while time is on your side, well, there's air in your lungs. Would you be the one to shuffle the stars? Stars in your hands. Stars in your hands. Stars in your hands. Stars in your
Until here? All right.
Otherwise, it's like getting too long, and I'm feeling like we
Nah,
have so many things to talk about.
true, and there's so much already material to ask you. Like, now, first of all, like, I love how the way you compose melodies. Like, you go from high range to low, and you use so beautiful bright falsetto. Sometimes it's so beautiful. I always
It was
when I listen-
recorded like not in one take.
I know, I
That's
know.
a lot of comping there.
But there's no shame on that, and also the way how you use sometimes breathing voice is just so beautiful. It's really cool.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel after listening? I mean, this track was like when we were studying our masters,
Yeah.
like 6 years ago. How does it feel now to listen this?
22, I think 21,
22?
22 it was.
So 4 years ago.
So yeah, I'm now thinking that actually one thing that the thought that came up now listening is that like, well, I'm demanding a lot of my audience.
Why?
Because I don't know, I feel like I really ask for a lot of attention.
Mm.
that I really need you to stay with me here and like wait until it unfolds.
Interesting, because maybe it's time to introduce one similarity we brought here in the hands.
Oh yeah.
We are reading the same book
Yes.
called More Than a Music Artist.
And we're also almost in the same spot now.
And I think Natalia, that's the reason why I shared now those images, because I think you are coming from. There is some similarity to what you said right now with what I read in the book about attention, and I understand what you mean. Because of course, some people do some tracks for dancing, chilling, to have a bit when you are cooking some food, or when you are just want to feel some long emotion. But do you feel that this track requires a lot of attention because of the voice being too present, or in which sense do you think?
Yeah, I just feel like in our modern world, like how people discover music, that we're so used to song form, and of course I'm battling. I'm battling that. I'm trying to escape that. Not trying. I maybe I was just also coached in a way that through my composition studies that song form is a commercialized form that made for people dancing. It's always AABA. You should be more creative. Just get out of there and go start from your story. And of course, that's I think where the artistic value is. But also, it on the other side, it really demands a lot. And I'm also looking back into, let's say, my record of participating like in competitions, and I feel like I never won these competitions because, like, when you go and you still need to earn your audience, you really need to give them something like bam, and that that it has an impact. And this one doesn't have an impact. It's slow. It really demands attention, like to kind of take them into that, and it's hard to earn. Yeah, I'm just
Attention.
reflecting now. It's hard. You need to earn that
But it's
attention.
so bold from you to say that loud, because of course I also listen my tracks in the previous years, and I also think fuck. Like but so I really
honest.
I think it's really bold from you to recognize, how do you actually deal with the attention nowadays in the world? There's too much noise, too much music.
Even now, it's even worse than it was 4 years ago.
Yeah. So how do you deal with that? I really wish the best for my listeners, and I guess you too. We just wish connection with each other, but the attention is where we meet, and how do we find contexts where allows us to have this good connection in a positive way for both sides? But I think you already a step further to recognize that, And also the thing you talk about form, ABA, in the pop world. My background comes from this contemporary classic composition, and there is also this conception of, okay, songs are a bit too simple, but there is a lot of in the simplicity. There is what lies the what it works psychologically, because I remember I read a book also saying that in that repetition is where people really feel empowered to say, oh, I know this, when the ABA, when I mean like the form of music, like A is one, the beginning of the song, and B maybe is the chorus, and A is the verse. And if someone recognizes the what you sing before, it brings them so much this empowering feeling, and there is no shame on that. And I think also you already a bit outside the education world like me. It's we realize now, okay, it's okay, like if I want to do a ABA, sorry, let me be.
Yes, I'm coming closer and closer to that. And I remember in the beginning of my composition studies, they asked me like, why do you want to study composition? And my answer was like, I want to learn to forget something, I learn to unlearn, you know, something like this. And they were like, yes, we take you.
Very good, very good. She learned. Do you
Let's listen to your stuff.
my thing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. It's gonna be a lot of back and forth in this. So I also gonna share one that's like I think it's also 4 years ago I did this track.
Okay, cool.
It's
Now we can see where we were.
where we
were
and
both.
what the hell, like where were you this on this world? Okay, this is called Chantoria, and it's from an album called Superorganism.
Yeah.
A long
I
trip.
I can imagine you performed it live, and when you see live, you with the instrument, with the futuristic instrument, it's like also like very impactful, and it's a very important, yeah, aspect of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine. What do
Yeah,
you think?
yeah, because um, this track was all recorded in one take,
Wow,
and this old
I wanted to
electronics.
ask.
Yeah, I feel kind of proud of this work because Knurl was such a dinosaur on that time.
By dinosaur, you mean that it was like an old version of Knurl,
This the
right?
prehistorical versions of the instrument. I'm not
So
gonna
funny,
even
she's talk
show some
about
pictures
dinosaur
here.
about the futuristic instrument that she's
Yeah.
developing.
Yeah. Can people listen you commenting, or should I? Chris said that he said that there was a beautiful layer of overtones, and I agree. I think, and this is all like controlled by my instrument when I'm playing. So yeah, I'm so happy that nowadays we can record, because this is one of tracks I think, yeah, I can never play this again, never in this way. This is just that moment in 4 years ago, this 4 minutes of my life that were like this. And that's why I love improvisation, because it brings us to some places we would never imagine. Um, and yeah, but ask me to play this again, I can't.
Wow. That's jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just curious about like the things that you can do, because there were some double stops, and probably is it possible to play this on a cello, or like a similar at least combination of I don't know, of intervals, or is
I
it?
think so, because
Mhm.
at that time Knurl was still like the intervals of the strings were in fifths, so at least the overtones, the harmonics, I think it's super like doable. I Once I tried to score, because nowadays there is some softwares that helps you, like if you throw the MP3, they help you to see the MIDI
Transcribe
notes.
it,
Yeah,
right?
and it's a bit too much, but it's possible. I think it's okay. Only the electronic part, then that I have no idea how a cellist would do. I guess with an interface I would have to build for a cello that represents Knurl or something like this.
Well, who inspires you? As in, you know, composers, performers that think in this way. Who do you look up to?
I think I already told you, like I have a little like triangle in my artistic vision between Bjork, Villa Lobos, and Milton Nascimento. That's my triangle.
But I don't think there any of them is like cello players.
Well, Villa Lobos was,
Oh,
but he was a guy that played also piano, guitar, clarinet, but his main instrument was cello. Villa Lobos is a composer from Brazil, by the way, if
I
someone doesn't
definitely
know.
checked it out, but I cannot recall now.
Yeah, it's
You gave me a lot of interesting, cool references.
his music is very nationalistic nowadays. Like the way how he does structures is very very related to Bach, like very related to counterpoint.
Okay.
So
But
I
what's it has to be do with nationalism? Is it nationalistic?
you mean what does it mean for me, or what does means in his music?
Yeah, for you.
Well, he for me, why his music is nationalistic is because during his time, like on his 30s, like the time we are now, he took a lot of time to travel the whole country around Brazil. People thought he was lost, that he was dead, to know every region from Brazil. And he transcribed a bunch of folk songs. And in his music, he, like Stravinsky, you were saying, he also tried to recompose that on his symphonies and works. And that's why he became such a important figure on constructing this vision of what culture means on that time in Brazil. And and he was also supported to do that because it was dictatorship.
So he was on the side of dictatorship. He was
He
not
he
like
was kind of
Shostakovich in the side of against
I
the
think on that
dictatorship.
time, I think yes, I think he was more. But I'm very bad on music history. Sometimes I forget things.
Interesting. We can have a conversation once in comparing. I don't know, because if you say that, I mean, I don't know so much about Brazil, but if you say that there was dictatorship, and it's interesting how composers approach this,
Mm-hmm.
like either they join them or they go against them,
Yeah, or like
and
the
like how
Second World War.
how it translates in their music. Because,
Yeah,
well, I don't know. We always like in conservatorium they always say, okay, Shostakovich and who else?
Rachmaninoff.
Rachmaninoff.
I
Yeah,
think I
I've
think
thought
he.
about this, but there
Yeah.
was also someone else.
Oh, there are
Anyway,
so many.
doesn't matter. But they were like against this, and this is why the music remained.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and it's interesting how to see how it's how it's happening in Brazil.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Why we
funny.
should kind of limit ourselves to only to European and that side of the world. And it's interesting to see what's going on.
He was also a
Also.
guy that once said, I remember in his book, because I was so crazy for his no, it was a biography. He said, I will never go to Europe unless they invite me first. He was so nationalistic in a way, like, I'm not gonna get out of here before I'm invited in a good way. Um, don't know if this is
It's kind
actually
of radical.
it was very radical in that time, because in order for you to be a classic composer, you really needed to go outside. You need to get better education, and that's actually also how I thought 10 years ago when I moved here.
What do you think now, after 10 years?
I think nowadays the world is too globalized, and I think there is opportunities everywhere. Even if you are in Brazil or here, the challenges remain very similar nowadays, in very different ways, of course, but I think there's chances for everyone everywhere. So, yeah, not sure if that's if you want to be a musician, there is not only one path. Just come to Europe to be a good musician. No, I don't think so. There's too many paths nowadays, I think. What
Yeah,
about you?
I think also the same, that you can really mean a lot from a place where you, where you were born, even if you stay.
Mm-hmm.
And you might not acknowledge that, you might not understand that, but I think yeah, I don't think you have. It's good if you have an opportunity to go and travel, and kind of expand your um, vision. I don't know. Yeah,
Horizons.
your horizons. But yeah, I do agree that it's that you can also mean a lot with just staying and working on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there are challenges anyhow. Like in any way, like if you stay, you will have to deal with this challenge of opening your vision all the time, to keep searching for new things. Because in the end, I mean, the music world is so big. We are requested in so different, like we can fit in so many ways in so many communities in such a strange way. So of course you will be always navigating all these different cultures and people. And but yeah, if you I don't know, it's a very very interesting topic, I think, for us to
We
talk
should
about.
start our own podcast.
Shall we listen one of yours now?
Oh yeah. Let's listen. Solitary Star, the elevated version.
Mm-hmm. This is the yes, all right.
North and south, east and west, carve the shore of cosmic ocean. Above it, the deathless cosmos, where you're a solitary star. You're a solitary star, star that brings me light and this chaos, we're all alone. But every solitary star could be a sign to someone. Little solitary star, but to me you are the sun. In my world you are 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 the sun. Born by smash of dust and fire, or by power of a word and thought. I don't know how stars are born. I don't know where stars come from. I just pray to the guardians of heavenly bodies to keep you shining for billions of years. In my world you are 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 the sun. You are the sun. In my world you are in my world you are the sun.
Oh.
So cool. I wish I could. Shall we get technical into this one?
Yeah, sure.
Because I was noticing, like, you brought, like, clearly there's a string quartet. Oopsie, this is the next one. And they are the whole trip with you, let's say, from big start to end. But in this track, you decided to only start with the electronic sounds, a little bit more into the third part of the song. Let's say it's the 3/3 of the song. Was this something you discover along the way? Because I know this was a version from electronic version, right?
Electronic. No, it was. It's like it. This version made it to the album, to the vinyl. And why this one is special? Because I released like a few versions of this before this one, and well, this one was when I discovered Dolby Atmos.
Really?
Yeah, so this one has this hint of space in it, and well, I hope, but it is sort of also the vision that even like on a stereo system, like in a stereo environment, you can really feel that it's kind of has a hint of space and a 3D world. So because we mixed it in Atmos, and I think the mixing engineer's workflow, as far as I understand and I remember, is that he later then folds from a 3D world into stereo. So there is that hint of space there. Yeah, and for me also, I discovered spatial audio during the NIPE studies, and I was really
I remember
fascinated.
you were so like, this is the future.
Yeah, I still think so. I think it's a bit of a hard future, in the sense of possibilities. Where it
You
can be
mean like-
played. I now want to play at least with a quad.
Yeah,
all
of
the
course.
time.
Yeah, your demands become a bit higher, let's say.
Yeah, and then there's also like, okay, where do I find places to play?
But
So-
I mean, your demands are also already higher for choosing. This we were also talking about that for choosing to work with acoustic music. I mean, with live musicians all the time, because yeah, through your projects, I noticed as well as a friend that you love collaborations and you love to bring up musicians that you really
You think
trust.
so? I was just also on my train here. I was thinking that I'm not a very collaborative person.
What?
But actually, you
I
think
mean,
that I am.
every track you have, you always invite someone. You know, it's being a producer or, or a string quartet in this case. There is always someone on the road with you, and even our mentor René from Master, he also said you are really good on inviting people in, and bringing help to support the vision. But yeah, in this track, it's funny how you chose when from my listener's perspective, how you chose to abandon a bit the electronic version and give more highlight to the string quartet with you.
Yeah,
How
well,
was
you
this
see,
process
this
recording them?
process. Yeah, uh, I was like in charge of the string quartet arrangement and my performance, and further on, I was collaborating with a music producer, Bruno Vogel, and I was like, okay, I give this to you, and we work in Atmos, and let's kind of let's make this like a album version. Um, so it was his choice actually to add it only in the end. And I like it. I like it. I don't know.
It brings it kind of adds up a very natural way, I feel. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's a very minimal, and we noticed also because we were working on like a live experience and like spatial audio for this, and it's kind of he only used some synth support to double the parts, and he didn't go hard on like percussion or like beats, but just like impacts, kind of sound design, poof. And I should notice, do you have like a sub here? Because I was really missing some like boom, because at some point it's really, because at some point it really was getting, especially during live experience, like like, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I missed that moment, like, okay, we were missing a bit of a kick,
Hmm.
like the low end. It's all right.
Yeah, but it's also okay. It should be a bit flat, but really cool. And okay, and what about the attention again? We were talking in the previous album. How do you see the attention in this? No, let's ask a different question, similar to attention, but more about the emotion here. What do you think Natalia on that time was trying to? Which kind of emotion she was trying to work on, and what was the transformation, that the book talks so much about? Where are you bringing the listener from beginning to end?
Yeah, it's very hard to to talk about. I never talked about it, but I know. Of course, I know. Um, this is one of the songs that really came from a feeling of, sometimes you write out of a feeling of frustration or like anger or anything. Like, I think, you need like a really some kind of emotional, impactful experience to like get an urge to write a song. At least this is how I am ticking as an artist. Like, I really need to get an urge. Like, if I don't get this out, this is gonna eat me or kill me. I don't know. I really have to do this. So this is at least how my inner world works. And this one was really born from a feeling of love. And yeah, and and not a lot of songs I write from that feeling, because a lot of songs come from a feeling of something negative. And I really enjoy when I finally kind of reach a point that, oh wow, I'm writing out of something like a good feeling. So I always look for like to find, let's say, references in in other worlds. Let's say I really wanted something art sciencey, so I wanted to like write about cosmos. Like, it was like the first song of Cosmic Bride, and I got the book of Carl Sagan, and I was like reading, okay, this is like the world that I'm creating, at least like lyrically, because I don't know how you guys write lyrics. How you
Well,
guys write
actually-
lyrics? I surround
Actually,
myself with quotes of people who are smart. I just like ping, 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 ping.
well, this actually was one question I thought when I was driving here, because I remember during our master studies that we were supposed, each student was supposed to do a workshop for the other students. And I remember that time was COVID, and you chose to do a workshop about songwriting. And I missed that workshop. I was so angry with myself.
Yeah, that was also a nice one. I was on this kind of workshop with a singer-songwriter, Becca Stevens. She
Mhm.
did this kind of approach.
Is this what did you teach in that workshop 4
I-
years ago?
Okay,
Is this something what
very
you're
s-
saying
I
now?
do that a bit. So not only I steal a lot, but I also use some of my stuff. So
Respectively, she doesn't steal that much. Okay.
so and her workshop actually was, you start with the morning pages exercise by Julia Cameron,
Aha.
and
We
out
read a
of-
lot. You guys notice that this book is called
I never read that. I never read that one, but
oh my god, I read
Artist's
the book.
Way.
Yeah,
Artist's
The
Way.
Artist's Way. It's really cool book for someone who is stuck with is in trying to get emotions out, and needs to write and create, but it doesn't things don't go out. So there is these two homeworks, and one of them, Natalia is telling you now, is the morning pages, which is to write pages every morning when you wake up, like 3 pages per day. Continue.
So yeah, like 10 minutes, right? Ends up around 3 pages. So, and then in that, let's say, morning pages thing, you underline 3 things like that resonate. And I forgot what are those 3 things, but let's say something like emotion. You underline an emotion.
For
Then-
example, this one, love, in this case of this track.
Yes, but also could be, I don't know, anything that kind of sparks an emotion. I don't know. Like, yeah, an emotion. Maybe love is an emotion. It's a more feeling.
Mhm.
Emotion is, I don't know. Anyway, then you underline maybe an idea that you could develop in the future. And then the third one, you underline an action or something. I don't know. You can choose your own, like 3 things that you could underline. You can categorize it any way you want. But then out of this, yeah, so you have this thing, and then you actually start. Oh my gosh, what was this workshop? I forgot already.
Well, it's okay, but I was just wondering if your process is the same, or your this methodology you develop during songwriting, does it really change after by each project, or does it remain kind of the same? Do you
The
follow
core
a
is the
tool?
same, but let's say the material that I surround myself with is different. Yeah, so it's different books all the time, or like a bit of a different, path. But I always kind of find a lot of inspiration by surrounding myself with different quotes, and I think, oh, I want this language to use. Maybe it's a bit more technical that I would not, let's say, use, but I'd try to make it mine.
Really cool.
So that. I remembered actually the workshop. I
Now
can
you
tell
remember?
Yes, but
Tell
then
us
you
a little
also,
bit.
but then because it's a group workshop, and then every person in a circle writes a line. Like I start, for example, this is a song about a girl. Where is this girl going? And you're saying, girl is going to a radio show. And then what is she doing in the radio show? And then you say, for example, on a radio show, she is, I don't know. She's
Drawing.
crying. We want drama. She's crying. Why she's crying? And that.
Oh, okay.
And then you create a whole like narrative, and then you choose next to the narrative, you choose little by little bits of, okay, this is this. Can I find something similar from the morning pages? And then you kind of just tick, 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 tick. So like each page, but you, of
so
course you need a bit of.
you
yeah.
compare a story with what you were feeling, let's say.
Yeah. Like, but it's like from your personal, like, if you do this stream of consciousness exercise, then you don't think what you were thinking. You just throw it out. Yeah, I did this kind of workshop with people a few times, and it's strangely like every song that you write like this ends up sounding a bit like a Radiohead song.
Really? Okay. But this can be a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, but of course you need a bit of a guidance, like someone who's like really familiar with song form and to kind of to create hooks and guide people. But in general, it's kind of then a bit of a representation of what of their inner world
It's
that
funny.
has a narrative also.
Funny. When I'm gonna write lyrics and I'm here saying like in a very respectful way, because I don't think I had enough skills. I don't have still enough skills to really think like about the like lyrics as poetry. Um, for me, it's always very personal. It's almost like I get my guitar, which is right here, and I start to just jam. And I'm like singing like super stupid things, like "Oh no."
Yeah, as long as you're feeling it.
And then some words they work really well with a melody, and then I think, wow, this is actually beautiful. Oh, is this really what I'm feeling? And then I go from there, from tiny like moments like, oh yeah, this is what I want to say, and to the whole thing. But it's a very personal approach. But I really like to know that you do a very different way, that you think more about the context and the story behind it. I think it's also how Bjork's I see also. I mean, I don't know so much how she does it, but Bjork is a very
Big inspiration for
for
us.
both of
Yeah,
us.
of course.
But I see
Our mother
when you
whispering.
yeah, when you see her lyrics, it's always so much like story based.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know any other artist that did to me what, let's say, emotionally, like that took me through something emotionally, like she did, especially with Vespertine and like track like Undo. Um, yeah, it's just, I remember I was trying to listen to it with friends and no one got it from the group that we were listening to, and I'm like listen how she's kind of really taking you, like your pain and through this journey, and like really healing you. I mean, that's magical, and I believe like if you're able to feel that with music, then you can also able to do that with through your own practice.
True. Yeah, it's a reflection. Shall we listen
Yes,
another one?
let's listen from yours.
Okay. The next one is a video.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it's part of a soundtrack for a short film I collaborated with. This film.
Was it with Suzette?
No, this is from another collaboration. So maybe it's a good thing to mention Suzette. I forgot to mention her. The first track we listened from me is a collaboration with another artist called Suzette Balsema, also a good friend of mine. She lives in The Hague, and we actually met each other working in a restaurant. She studied photography very well, and she had this project in mind 4 years ago called Superorganism. And from a collaboration with her, I made this album, and she used in her exhibitions.
No, super cool. No, because I thought that it came from a collaboration also, but you
Yeah,
didn't mention
I
that.
forgot to mention. This next one is another collaboration with a filmmaker that was living also here in the Netherlands, in Eindhoven. Now he is in Spain, Alex, and he is actually now living, in Spain. And this work is one of his first works as a filmmaker. He invited me after watching me playing in Eindhoven 3 years ago. He wanted to create a short film that brings the person from a normal circumstances to a magical one. And the story is about this bench, which is a normal bench in the Netherlands, but it's a magical bench. And there's a guy who's gonna sit there, and he's gonna have
Gives me
a
Forrest
very
Gump
crazy
vibes.
time. So I think it's from here it starts. So maybe a little bit from the beginning. So he's sitting there. And I think my contribution will start from these scenes.
inside. Inside. Inside.
Eu recebi o e-mail ontem. Quer que vai responder? Acho que eu vou dizer que sim. É sério?
Maybe I should translate what she's saying. She said, I received an email yesterday. What are you going to say? I think I will say it yes.
Ok.
Okay.
Doesn't feel like she wants to say yes, but it's like a bit hard choice for her.
Yeah,
She's not
look
excited
at the
about it.
characters. Like, it's very neutral. It's very hard to say what was this email about. It leaves a little bit open in the end. I think Alex is so brave to think so crazy about the whole script of this film, because he wanted to go from this world of magical realism. Do you know what is that? Maybe I should explain a little bit. It's a concept from an Argentinian writer called Julio Cortázar, and he writes books this size that people go, like, you can start in this chapter or here or here. You know, you can go from an order you want or from different orders he creates. He likes to think that Latin America is a magical place. The chaos of Latin America is something like funnily, like ironically curated in a way that is magical. Like things that are so random become so unique. And I think Alex brings this idea here where he imagines the bench some a magical place where there is portraits and this guy that sleeps there and he has a tea, he makes like his, you know, he creates his own world there. And this track was based on this idea of going somewhere else in a normal place.
Wow. I'm not sure if I ever heard about it, about magical realism, and that it comes, let's say, from Latin America, South America. Interesting. But I can relate. I can understand. I see. I can recognize.
Yeah, maybe. Mhm. Mm,
Yeah, so interesting. And how did you approach, let's say, with composing to it? Did he give you any? Uh, oh,
I don't know what is this. You have some extra sounds.
this feels like your composition. um,
No problem.
yeah, interesting. Yeah, how do you approach did he give you any kind of keywords or like go wild?
I don't remember so well, but I think we were talking a lot about what each scene means and how important was to leave it open and neutral. Like you can see the characters all the time. Their faces are super neutral. Like it's not something like um, it's not showing like a very strong emotion. And Alex was really trying to focus this aspect of the film, and I got this part, and I remember that um, this was something like that was my starting point, like how to leave it a lot of space in the beginning. And I thought about, yeah, okay, a slow tempo, a little bit of pizzicatos. That
You have this nice kind of gliss pizzicato.
yeah, it was
How do you do that?
um I call it an effect on Knurl called flanger.
Flinger.
Flanger. Like it's an effect based on like multiplying the sound and you using pitch shift as well to make it a little like going up or going down.
Can you play it live or you need to produce it?
I play live a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, and that brings a lot of authentic sounds because sometimes um there's not this sound that's not perfect is just so beautiful, you know. And that's what I try to, yeah, that's why I love to improvise again, because it brings me these unexpected beauties which I cannot create anymore.
Hmm. I think if you is mentioning magical realism, it feels like this film, at least this scene, is very realism, and your music is trying to take it into the realm of magical,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, so the
Mm.
music on this scene was something so important, you know. I'm happy Alex was happy about the final result. We are never completely happy, of course. There's always things to improve, but it was a work that I thought, okay, this is something I want to bring to my own practice. Like, how do I work with my instrument, the knurl, which is something so unmanageable.
Unimaginable.
Yeah,
Why? Why is it unimaginable?
well, because a lot of people associate this instrument with future innovation, with all these trendy worlds of um, the business cultural sector of the Netherlands, which is really cool. But there is something I don't like about that as
Yeah,
well.
you mentioned. I remember.
Yeah, which is the fact that future means progress, and progress means that the past or what we are now in this like future is not a cycle, and for me nowadays is more an understanding of a cycle, you know, like um and that's the vision of future that resonates with me, and I'm trying to find this version on my instrument, a version that it's not so much based on like, okay, like what's next.
You were mentioning also in our last conversation when we like tipped into this topic, you were saying that um, about maybe kind of tapping in or like connecting more to the indigenous cultures. Are you exploring that at the moment?
Yes.
Because now you were mentioning like I'm thinking, okay, knurl, but also it has ancestors and kind of like
The ancestor is the cello for sure.
yeah, for sure. Yes, right. So kind of thinking about, you know, in that sense,
Yeah, I think
maybe creating a
the
work for cello and knurl. Probably already did that, but
well, I'm thinking to bring more the cello in my world again, but it's always flirting with me every time I, because it's also my place of when nothing works, I go to the cello, you know. So it's also my homecoming. Like Knurl is broken or it's having an operation on the desk of my studio. Okay, let's go to the cello. Let's forget a little bit about it. But yeah, it's a very fresh topic in my mind, you know, that to talk about this, and
I think there's a lot of like potential there and
there
a lot
is.
of interesting things. Yeah, and interesting to know what, let's say, what cello. You mentioned that Villa Lobos was a composer that, you know, was cello was his instrument, and sort of he adapted it to, I don't know, to Brazilian national traditional music. I don't like national, world national. It's terrible. National music.
Yeah, it's a
But
bit
it's
weird.
for me, it's more like anthems and things, like something like political. But yeah, traditional music.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I'm
something into that
thinking.
direction.
Yeah, because if you imagine on that time, he was also coming from a point, a perspective that culture was not something fixed. You know, it was something to be discovered. You know, he was going to this of like very countryside areas of Brazil and trying to figure out what that little melody meant.
Uh huh.
And nowadays, I think we should also approach the same question, like what is culture, with the same idea. You know, like okay, um, to be Brazilian doesn't mean to wear yellow and green and play football. No, this is something like you know, a fixed version that a lot of the market world uses, and that's fine. But culture is dynamic. What is to be Brazilian? You know, to go beyond these trends and these hypes. Um, and that's what I think I want to try to find out as well
Oh,
about me and my practice,
are
and
there any?
about being Dutch as well, because we're living here for 10 years.
Yes,
What
and
does it
you are
mean to
Dutch
be Dutch?
already. You're already like on a paper. You're Dutch, right?
True, yeah.
And no, but I was also thinking. Actually, that's a very nice topic also. But I was thinking, is there any like indigenous instruments that are with strings that come from Latin America or Brazil?
Well, the berimbau is one of them, and I remember when I was doing Canero, it was always in my mind because it's such a simple instrument that it just has so much, it has such an unique sound design. You know, like you know the berimbau, that arch. It's used a lot. It's used a lot in capoeira. It's like an arch, and there is a little coconut. I can show. Yes, that's a good idea. But is you will see it and you think, huh? What? You think this is related to Knurl, Rafaele?
Why not? I mean, as long as it's a string instrument that's kind of with a
Yeah,
bow.
it's you see it's with a little bow, but it's not played as a bow. It's more like played with like plucking and
Mm-hmm.
tapping. And also there is this shaker here, so they use the shaker and they use the belly to mute the sound. So you create this open or closed sounds. Tung, 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 tung. Yeah, and a lot of Brazilian music, classic Brazilian music, is inspired on these instruments somehow, because it's a very important sound for the African influence of Brazil. This one is the one I remember the most, and the rest, of course, there is also, like in a lot of other countries in the world, there is one called rabeca, which is like a variation of violin, and like a lot of people that lives on the coast. This is in this girl plays cello, and she's also sings Brazilian music here in the Netherlands. This guy here, um, he's like probably lives on the coast, and they do these very rudimentary versions of a violin. Yeah, it's there is a lot of variations of string based instruments also in Brazil.
Cool.
Shall-
History.
Shall we do your third? We are doing a very long interview. I think it's time for your third song, don't you think?
Yes, sure. Let's go.
Okay.
Tricked out of expectations, I fall back on my senses, misunderstood in isolation, unease of open questions, a chemical call, a waiting response, seeking new hosts, a version of out of this world. Is it the end? Is it the beginning? Reversing the path we've already been on. Attempts to erase infective embrace remains unknown. Love out of this world.
Changes, reduce thoughts to automation. Find the shortest path to exit through all possible routes at once. Time spins off, and space must be hid. Alien control, oppression.
Natalia was telling me something interesting.
I was saying that probably after this you would expect that you go to another chorus, but I don't know. You kind of go into the what was this? post-chorus.
Yeah, it was a little plus chorus. I think. Yeah.
Post-chorus.
Yeah,
So
I asked
I
her
don't.
like it was this because this tiny part looks like a modulation in the beginning, but then she goes back again to this part here, and then this part is like one half tone.
No, it's just like between the vibes that we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
But it stays in one key. I don't modulate here.
So cool.
Yeah.
I think this is a track where you went beyond ABA for sure.
Actually, I think it's like a detour. I came to ABA, but I don't know. I did something BABB.
ABB. I love so much this work, and I know you worked with Frank, right?
Yes.
Should I say his
Of
artistic
course,
name?
yes.
Bing Beats.
Yes,
For the ones
I'm very happy with the collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this, because you can clearly see like there's so much touch, there in every detail. You say, okay, it's kind of simple, but like from someone who produces, you can see there's so much details, so much. And
Yeah. I just think we found a language, and I knew that it's going to be very interesting. And I mean, I wanted to collaborate with Frank for a long time. I've been following his work for years, and yeah. And for this album, I mean, I had harp and vibes and my vocals recorded, and I was looking for a producer to work with. And of course, in the back of my mind, I always had like, oh, that would be wonderful one day. And yeah, I had sessions with different producers, and I'm like, no, that's not what it needs. And then I had a chance to meet him on Gaudiamus a couple of years ago, and we were just hanging out and talking.
he's such a nice guy.
Yes, he's very sweet. And yeah, so we're just hanging out talking, and I was thinking, I'm working on this and blah, 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 blah. And then actually, I need a percussion producer person.
slash percussion slash.
Yes. Yeah. And then he invited me to his studio. There was like a party, and I showed up, and I was like, I know I'm gonna ask you for this.
Here I come.
I really need this. And we had a misunderstanding in the beginning because he thought he would do only drums, and like I want the whole world. So I was like, hey, it's not finished. Well, I mean, we kind of found each other back. I was like, no, I need actually everything. I don't need only drums. It has to like be the full world prepared to work in a spatial environment. And yeah, I had this residency in Leipzig, in your city.
Zimt.
In Zimt, where I kind of explored the live version, let's say performance for live in immersive. So for me, that was the goal. Let's say, hey, I need like this ready for that. And then I'll have a little tour in spatial audio equipped venues. So that was kind of the goal. And then, we worked towards it. And this was also one of the songs. And this is actually the song that's a bit transitioning into another project with mycelium that I'm continuing to explore further. And I hope I get to work with scientists on this, because they pose such an interesting perspective that I'm really intrigued.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I hope we make this happen. So, but this I did also as a part of the Rhizome trajectory, which is funny enough, you told me about this. And then I got to be...
I told you about the open call.
Yeah.
Ah, cool. Didn't know.
You don't remember?
I share so many open calls with Natalia.
Yeah. So, and then I got an opportunity to do this, and I know that like this song is really like lyrically inspired. If I would love to explore the topic of otherworldly love, then this is going to be from the realm of these guys.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can show your little...
my little
so
book.
beautiful, the cover.
Yeah, it's for kids, but it's also for me.
So fitting. Yes, so fitting to this project.
Yes.
But yeah, really cool. Yeah, because out of this world, I mean,
So-
in a sense, you're also looking for a world inside our normal world. Mushrooms are something we can touch. But
yeah,
they're so unique.
Yeah, I'm trying to find still like words to really explain it. And I find a lot. I mean, I was why I wanted to do this mycelium thing is because I was inspired a lot. Like Carl Sagan inspired me to explore cosmos and stars and all this astrophysics. Marilyn Sheldrake inspired me to explore the, let's say, the world of mycelium. And he's just the way he's storytelling about this and like the mycelial thinking and that, you know, it's mysterious creatures, you know, they think absolutely differently. They can walk in two doors at once. You know, it's like not we go for one option, but they can choose multiple options, and they also have their interests and brain, not brain, like they don't have brain, but they are smart. They kind of make decisions. So yeah, this is very mysterious to me, and I think that we can also learn a lot from mycelium. So my idea for the Rhizome trajectory was that I want to collaborate with them, and my humble attempt was to, with the help of technical officer, creative technician, we built biofeedback co-performance system with mycelium.
Maybe I can try to describe to the people what they can see in that because I watched Natalia's first tryout of this performance. She was all in black in the center of the stage.
We didn't have budget for costumes.
That's okay. That's okay. But it was actually very fitting because the focus was on the mycelium, which was in the table in an aquarium, tiny aquarium, like a tiny cube thing, and she adds a bunch of how do you say, like moss, right?
Yeah, it was growing in a substrate, and substrate was hemp.
Yeah,
so
and she
had
was
a
like
colonized
bunch of
substrate.
sensors
Yeah, so
with a light there, like
Yeah.
very science based.
yeah, so the idea
picture.
is that, let's say, my heart rate is triggering, and for this idea, I should really credit an amazing technologist who suggested this to me. His name is Andrew Melchior. And yeah, if you look him up, he's doing like really crazy projects also with spatial sound, and he worked with Bjork and Massive Attack on their like heavy tech projects. I met
Cool.
him on Amsterdam Dance Event like last year. Very interesting mind. So I had a couple of emails with him like, I have this project. I really want to collaborate. I don't know how. So he said, okay, build a co-performance biofeedback co-performance system. So your heart rate is triggering the actuators in the mycelium. And we tried different things, and it really takes time to experiment, but we ended up only using light because it's also a bit direct. Otherwise, we could use also heat and pressure, but it also takes time to build and all these things. But so
Yeah,
really
so
direct.
maybe also mention to people she's also building the tech behind it.
I
That's
know,
maybe
no. I was not building.
No, but you collaborating with what is his name again?
Loden
Loden?
Rietveld.
You guys were building the whole technology to make this possible to actually capture the sensors of the fungi
Yeah.
in order to make that
Yeah,
possible.
electric spiking activity. So like the architecture looked like my heart rate is triggering the actuators, the lights in the mycelium aquarium. And then from that should kind of affect a bit the electric spiking activity. And then we have electrodes that are plugged into the substrate of mycelium, and we get raw data that is in live, translated into MIDI,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's part of the performance.
Crazy.
So you don't really hear it in this production. I came with some data to Frank. Hey, look, this is a graph. But actually, it has to it's really about being live.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a kind of a live experience.
It's
Yeah.
funny because I have currently the same problem with my current projects. But yeah, we'll go there soon. But just to close your part, I think it's very difficult when you are talking about interaction, live interaction, to bring this into a fixed media version, right? Because whatever you try to represent is never gonna be live. So what's the point? First of all, and then second, yeah, it's in the end it's about being there, present to listen and to experience live, which is the joy of music, you know, being live and listen.
Yeah. Yeah. The more techy and geeky it gets, the more complex it gets, and more people are involved, and yeah, I guess more risks, more responsibility, and yeah, tech. Uh-huh.
He has a question.
So, when your project starts to get more technical, do you feel that it becomes less accessible to the public? Because I sometimes think about this when I'm building like a larger installation, and I want to do so many different things, and I want to make it so complicated. But then in the presentation, I realize, okay, maybe this is just it doesn't look right, and nobody's gonna be able to understand this. And yeah, that's sometimes how I feel. I wonder how it was for you in this project, or how you're feeling now.
Yeah, well, I'm really happy that I got to do this like first iteration of it, and I hope that I will do more complex versions of it, and yeah, and have a bit more scientific input. It is complicated, and but with all tech projects, it is like there is a lot of struggle to build it, like 5 hours more of building it, and then like half an hour excitement, like it works. And it should work, if you plan for it to work and you make it, it's just like the struggle of building to it. That's what
I think it's also like having an extra skill there that you need to put attention into. And if you don't put enough attention, it will always look a bit gimmick, you know? Because, yeah, yeah, exactly. It never will expand the vision of the whole experience. It will more like be a little like, okay, here's the balloon, that's it, you know, like look a little bit as magic. But nowadays, technology is not so special anymore. Like, it's something so tangible to a lot of people that you need to be careful how you use it, you know. And if you use it, how you need to be so like so specific, you know, and so minimalistic in order to leave people enough space to put their own ideas into it. That's how I feel nowadays. I also sometimes I feel, okay, let's not go there, you know, with the amount of technology, because it will just take time out of me and make more complex, and even more the in the final message will be even more distance from the for to the audience. I guess that's how you also feel, maybe. It
But
is.
of course, I saw Rafaela's last work also improvising you, and I was a bit behind the scenes also to help.
She was also like helping with the sensors.
We help each other. I invite her to like be as a producer on my performances, and then I paid out with like also helping her.
Yes,
So we help each other.
Our pact.
Yeah.
I will show
But,
some pictures.
But I think that, let's see, what I saw for improvising you, like when people are contributing to the performance with their heart rate, I mean, I think it really works. And it's like amazing that, that audience can be part of it. And it's like, it's so much effort to build this and create this. And yeah, and of course the production budgets then are becoming bigger. And yeah,
In every dynamic, the project becomes so complex that one person is not able to manage everything.
yeah.
There's a point like you have to figure it out. Okay, it's not only about me here. And there's so many strings I have to pull.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can merge to the third final.
Yes.
So since you are mentioning,
Mm-hmm.
you probably are going to see soon some pictures of this project Natalia is mentioning from me.
Improvising you.
Yeah, which is a project about biological feedback. Actually, I'm talking about in a way that technology is more important here. It's a project about human connection, and how do we find connection nowadays being so influenced by digital culture. And the way how I do that is by giving the power for 8 participants of the audience to control sounds and lights. And you can see here some pictures of the sensors. These participants, they wear these sensors in their hands, and with that they can have their data. They're biological data, the brain waves and the heartbeats printed into this screen. And Kernel, as you can see, is also always there to follow my crazy plans. We're gonna listen a little preview of a single that is coming now on the 4th of August. And this part of this concert, it's about self-awareness. The name of the track is Your Attention Actually Yours? Yes. Speaking of attention, I'm not gonna play the whole thing because it's very long. It's like 9 minutes. So I'll find a little spot here to start. Is your attention actually yours? In a world where our time is constantly monetized, do we have to be alone to be self-aware? To be aware of what feelings are actually coming from you. Is technology deteriorating or enriching the way we feel? Is there actually a purest way to understand our emotions? I prefer to think I have some control. I hope I'm learning to pause in between. To have a break, to delay. Because it is in this gap between reality and desire that I find ways to meet you. So it was just a little part, little excerpt of this work. The rest is about to come. On 4th of August, I invite everyone to listen carefully. I also forgot to show the covers of our works together. Maybe it's a good time to show. This one is gonna be the cover of my. It's also a photo from my friend Suzette Balsema. That's the cover for what you listen right now.
Is it from the Improvising You performance?
No, this was actually a little tryout for another project Suzette and we had in mind. But then I asked her, hey, this was in my archive, and I think it's so beautiful. And I told her, like, this matches very well with this work, which is very meditative. Can I use it? She said, yes. So this is the title now. Should I show the other covers?
Yeah.
We can talk a little about also visual things.
Yeah, visual things, but I still have a lot of questions. Yeah, this is Out of This World cover.
This is what we just listened from Natalia,
Yeah.
which is so beautiful.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with this one, and it came kind of unexpectedly
Mm-hmm.
because I was always imagining, I don't know, this kind of thing that person is looking himself in a mirror down, and then like when we kind of got this, I was like, hey, this is a bit of what I actually always imagined, maybe a bit different.
I was trying to find different worlds, Natalia.
Yeah.
This one is also one from the Solitary Star. This was the second one, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is like the third version of Solitary Star.
Yeah.
But this one is from the, what's it called? The elevated version that's within Atmos.
Mm-hmm. The other ones, let's see what I have here. This one was also one of yours. I forgot to bring to place mine photos, but for the ones who wants to check my other works, it's all in Spotify, Apple Music, whatever.
Wherever
Streaming,
you like to
steaming.
get your music.
Yeah. Anyway, you had some questions about.
Yeah, like in this topic of connection. I mean, when I started reading this book, More Than a Music Artist, because it was about like connection and creating this like connection with your audience. I immediately kind of thought about your work, and I thought that, hey, Rafaela, you should read this. And yeah, we started this interesting like exchange
so much
with
back and
with
forth.
voice messages. We usually do like at least weekly in the mornings. Rafaela likes to send me messages, and I love it. No, it's became a ritual recently. And I was like wondering, how do you imagine, like a very vague question, but how do you imagine connection with your audience, and where do you want to take them with this work? What do you want to leave them with? Everything about connection, and maybe why you chose this topic of connection.
Okay. I'm gonna come from a very personal point and then maybe a little bit more professional later.
I mean, music always should be personal.
True, yeah, but I guess it helps people to understand where artists, where the ideas start. For me, well, I moved from The Hague to a small countryside of Rotterdam, like now almost 2 years ago. And these last years, I've been noticing I deal with a lot of isolation there. I used to work at a workspace where like there were constantly I was constantly bombarded with inputs and people and artists coming over. And now my studio is at home. I am kind of alone most of the time, figuring out my practice by myself there physically. And isolation became a big topic in my life suddenly. It's a very different, yeah, was very different for me. So it became a very strong topic in my mind. What am I doing here in the Netherlands? Why am I here alone in this village? So um, from there, I started to imagine how to move forward with projects. Every project comes from another project, let's say. I also was thinking why I'm so interested in the public itself, and how I feel sad that a lot of the public is not welcomed to feel like listened as well. In a concert, often the musician plays and people clap, and when they can clap, because if you are doing classical music, often you cannot even clap sometimes. So this was always something annoying for me somehow, because I really like to work with people in a equal way, like very like you and me here, and never like hierarchies. Um, so this became a really big topic in my practice during my master studies as well. I did this project called This Isn't Solo. In that project, I actually invite the audience to play with bows when I am playing with them, so they are also playing with me. And this project, I thought, from This Isn't Solo, I thought this is too. People don't like to feel exposed. This was my intake of that project. I thought they don't like to feel exposed. How can I invite people in a way they feel welcome to play with me, but that, yeah, it's not, they don't feel exposed. And then that's how I started to think about digital connection. And I started to learn and study about biological feedback. There was an
So
article.
interesting that we started doing this at the same time.
Yeah, funny, yeah. I came from this topic reading an article that I read actually years ago, but it was in my brain and I left always aside. It was an article about how music influences people biologically, and in that article they mostly focus on uh, why people start this research by, yeah, unfortunately, because of they want to torture people with sound in prison and stuff. Yeah, very crazy. And but
Actual
it was
motivation is
yeah. Yeah, no, it's not, I don't want to torture anyone, but it was interesting to see why biological this bio music sector of now art science music came from. It's from this story that, yeah, people wanted to understand what is actually happening in our bodies when we are listening music. And for me, this was really exciting, really interesting. It was also a digital way to understand more what's happening with people when they are listening music. And that was the reason where I I'm coming from a personal way to a professional. So I've been working on this project where I try to create a little circulatory system where people listen my music, they can also make music, and they can also influence the way how I play on stage with sensors.
yeah, and I saw it happening, and it's really, I mean, it's amazing that it's, it's possible, and that, and how it was visualized. Yeah, I mean, I was proud of you. Like I
Oh,
am proud of you. Like the one that I saw, like I thought, like yeah,
that's it.
yeah. I mean, and you looked like you're alone on stage and all handling this, but of course there's a crew of people who was also responsible for
Yeah,
facilitating also all these things.
yeah. But unfortunately, they are not with me anymore. And I was really sad for sometimes about
Yeah, I
it.
know.
But now I'm getting a team again.
Yes,
Nino is gonna help me with the projection,
amazing. Yeah,
and
I'm so looking forward to
I
this
was
one.
also for a long time wishing to have more people playing with me on stage because this track is very meditative. That's where I wanted to bring people.
It's cool, and I think it's also a cool match with Nino because I can't wait
Yeah.
for like what we're gonna do next week.
Mm-hmm.
That's so exciting.
We can talk about that soon for people.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say is I forgot. But I said I had this long wish of playing with people on stage with me because I play very often alone because canoe is so unique. You know, how do you play such a unique instrument with other acoustics? But I'm bringing 2 cello players to play with me in this coming
Cool.
version.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And what's their role? Do you like imagine their role? Why
Let's
two
say
cello players?
because
Why not keyboards? Why not bass?
I thought for a long time that I was thinking maybe I should bring these instruments like keys and percussion. That was my plan B, and then my plan A was cello. And I thought, okay, why? Why do I want more people? First of all, I realized it was about the connection, and it was also about my overwhelming feeling of feeling like an octopus.
Okay, octopus?
Yeah, like coordinating technology and coordinating my instrument, designing the instrument and composing. So how can I actually find a way to not become an octopus anymore, you know?
It's a nice composition.
The way
How
can
not
you
to become an octopus.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should make a workout. Anyway, and I thought, okay, these 2 reasons proves me why I should go back to cello. Why should I invite 2 cello players? There is to I feel like when we are on stage, we are almost like a waiter. You know, you are serving people information, attention, and ritual as well. And if you are also responsible for the technology and the composition and production, you cannot be this waiter. You know, you have to have extra waiters. So that's why I thought, okay, cello is my world. I'm gonna bring 2 other cellists to help me holding up this world with me because it's a lot.
I understand, of course. Yeah.
And it's also a work where I imagine if we're talking about now emotion and connection, I want to make people feel that they are dancing on a chair.
Dancing on chair. Oh, that's a nice
That they are
one.
exciting, but they are frustrating. They
All
are
emotions.
feeling anxious as well about this world of technology. So some of these tracks they are very like dancey, rhythmic, and that's why I thought, okay, it should feel like that, and that's where I'm going. Let's see, who knows?
So cool. I can't wait for the next iteration.
Yeah, it will be so cool. This is gonna be premiered in the 12th of September in Gaudeamus
With 2 cellos.
with 2 cellos and Nino's projection. And Natalia was just mentioning next week we start. We made a little pact again, and we're gonna do a little residency to bring our music to my local neighborhood, to the countryside of the Netherlands, and make people crazy.
Blow their
So
minds.
let's see how it goes. This project is gonna start next week, so
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. Do you have other announcements to do for the or
Announcements.
closing?
I'm not announcing anything yet. I'm working on it. I would say just follow
Keep-
us on our
keep following.
socials. Yes. Yeah. There will be announcements. There will be announcements for sure.
Great.
Now it's holiday. Enjoy, rest. Then announcements are coming in.
Very good. Harvest momentum in the right time. Okay, I think this is a close up.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Blue Right Radio.
Yeah, thank you
for
for
the
having us,
invitation,
for
having us here.
for facilitating this space for us, to just talk.
Yeah.
Like, it's so amazing to just sit down
Yeah,
with you.
it was really cool.
Yes, thank you.
And I hope you guys enjoy there. Who knows who is there? Greetings from the
You
Netherlands.
know your audience. You know your audience. Community.
Yeah, in the digital realm. Hopefully we'll meet soon.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Bye bye.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, so nice hearing you guys talk about these kind of things.
Right? We should do a podcast.
Episode
With her.
That's the third time you say that. And funny
It
enough,
was you who were saying this.
yesterday I got an email of someone asking me. So maybe we should talk
To make a
about
podcast.
Yeah, but I actually.
Cara de pau.
Guys, I'm so unashamed.
We have this, like, philosophy that Rafaela brings.
Yeah.
We should have
Cara de pau.